Alrighty, so in this episode of Salt and Sacrifice, we are on a mage hunt for Celes Zend, the Morning Winter. It's an ice mage. Right here. So this audio is actually recorded after the fact because I live with my son. I do have a child. And I was recording this during the day while he was up and about, so I really couldn't record the audio while he was awake. So this will be after the fact. I could definitely say that I feel like this mage was the most frustrating one to fight, simply because it has like, not balloons, but it has like an ice mist, like the white circles, and they would appear like right in front of me as I was fighting the thing. Like they would appear right in front of me and blow up, send my body flying. And it also had like an overhead cloud that drops icicles on you, and it seemed like the icicles were just going forever and ever and wouldn't stop. So I would definitely say, for me, in the Salt and Sacrifice experience beta weekend, I would say that the Ice Mage, was definitely the hardest. I don't have water, so excuse me if I clear my throat or if I snort like a pig, but I left my water in the other room and I was too lazy to go and get it. I know that sounds terrible, but I really enjoy the hunt concept though. How you have to go to like 3 or 4 separate locations and defeat the mage, take its health down some. I think that's a really cool addition to the game. It almost makes it feel Monster Hunter-ish, which is really cool to me. I'm thankful that that those things don't spawn while you're actually fighting the mage. But yeah, then again, that's another cool aspect of it. Those things don't show up when you're fighting the actual boss. So while you're hunting the mage, it will spawn like these other enemies that you have to take out, like this goat thing, which a lot of the enemy designs in this game are really intimidating. Like, going back to Salt and Sanctuary, a lot of the bigger enemies would kill you pretty quickly if you weren't leveled correctly. So I guess I had PTSD from that. So a monster like that goat thing would kill you very quickly. But in Salt and Sacrifice, I think so that's 2 regulars and a heavy. Yeah, 2 regular swings and a heavy will kill it. And what's super cool and interesting about Salt and Sacrifice, is this the boss fight already? Yeah, here we go. Celes Zend, the Morning Winter. I was going to say what's cool about this is once you defeat the boss, you can actually take the material and craft like rings. You can craft like armor. It's really cool. See that? This is what I was talking about. That cloud that shoots down the icicles just goes forever. And then the little white circles that just appear will blow you up. This was definitely, for me, the hardest. I'm not sure why it spawned in there with, its health already taken off. But this one was difficult. This one gave me a lot of troubles. I died to this thing multiple times. But it's there's a few times where I was fighting it where I would get stun locked by that cloud that drops the icicles like you see there. And it would literally stun lock me for most of my health. So that was super, super frustrating. I also ran out of axes, so I was having to do this thing with no range option, which the range option here is what saved my body. See, look, stun locked. Look, for most of my health there. I'm surprised that I didn't die, actually, with what little health that I had. And there's the kill. Mage devoured. And what it drops here, all of the stuff that it drops, you can actually take that back to town. And you, like I said, you can craft items with it, which is super, super cool. Excuse me. And there's different tiers of these hunts. So the higher the tier, I would assume, the more material you would get, or the better material you'll get. I'm not sure which one it is, but I was pretty lucky to survive there. I had like a little tiny sliver of health. And that boss fight, what you saw there, obviously was me beating it, but I died to that thing for about an hour, I would say. It took me a good hour to beat it. It was very tough. Very challenging, but that's a good thing. And that's what made Sultan Sanctuary so special to me, is because of the difficulty. You can make a game like this and make it like like Candy Cutter or whatever, you know what I mean? But it gives it real grit to me. Excuse me. Next time, definitely stop being lazy and go get the water. So here I'm just collecting materials, just kind of looking around. I believe I might be looking for an obelisk so I can get back to town, so I can use my salt to level up. Yeah, because I'm not fighting anything here. So I'm going to try and get back to town so I can level up, and so I can use what the boss had dropped to craft some new items. I know the rings that you can craft from these bosses are really beneficial because they boost your stats as far as like stamina goes, damage taken, you know what I mean, resistance to whatever type of mage it is, whether it be ice or fire or water, you know what I mean. Very cool concept. I wasn't initially sure. Oh, I got stuck there. I was so mad about that. Initially, I wasn't sure how I would like the mage concept of the situation when, the first couple of trailers of Salt and Sacrifice were introduced. And this is what I wasn't sure about. I'm like, okay, so I'm new to the game, but a lot of the times there would just be mages free roaming that I wasn't hunting, like you just saw there, the fire mage. And I had already beat the fire mage. So I'm not sure if that's just like a gameplay feature or if that was a bug. Like, I have no idea. But here we finally made it back to an obelisk. And we're going to return to camp. I don't know why I was clicking back and forth. It must have been, I must have been distracted or something. And we're going to return to camp. Beautiful. And I'm just going to go straight to leveling up here with my salt. See how many levels? 2 levels. Cool. And of the tree of skill, I'm going to dump most of my points into things like strength, into things like my stamina, into things like my health. I'm not really too concerned about max equip load. Even though I am going with a strength build, I'm not too concerned about max equip load at the beginning, or even in this beta. for instance, because it's not the full game. So definitely, I don't think I ever put points into dexterity simply because I do go with strength builds. Definitely don't put any points into arcane, really on a strength build. Okay, so we're done leveling up here, and I think I'm gonna visit this guy to see what he's got. Care to look over me wares? No, I just skip him, alright. I always collect from them. I think the respawnable resources is really cool too. In a lot of other games, once you take the resources, they're gone. But I think that's a really cool concept to respawn them every time. Okay, we're going to go up. Nope, we can't upgrade anything but the haze, which I'm still not positive what that does. I read the description, but I still didn't understand, I guess. And I don't know how many times I went to the right there. There's nothing that way. In the beta, at least. Enhance equipment. Yep, we're going to level up my weapon here. I was using the Knight's Vanguard and the throwing axes. And you enhance them with Asper, I think this is called. I'm not sure if it's pronounced like that, but... And then, okay, so here you can craft equipment that you get from the bosses. See how there's all of this different stuff that I can craft now because I beat the boss. And or the mages, when you beat the mages, they drop all of these items for you. Here's a ring that increases max stamina. I mean, it's a very, very cool concept. I'd go ahead and throw that one on, and see I already got the fire ring from beating the other fire mage. So yeah, that about wraps up this hunt. I really enjoyed it. It was really tough. The toughest challenge for me in the beta. I think I'm not sure which mage we fight next. But I will see you guys in that episode of Salt and Sacrifice Beta on the PlayStation 5. Peace.